Hey, Joe, start with yourself. How are you different 4 months after the season started? Start you and then the team also. You different, the same? How are you?
I'm definitely different. I just feel like I get smarter with more experience. I mean, obviously, I've been in college 3 years already. I played 3 years at Iowa, so I just feel like my mindset just got way better. It's not all about scoring and offense, and that's what I preach to the team every day. Obviously, offense is gonna go the way it wants to. You know what I mean? People have bad games, bad shooting games, but I tell people you can't control your effort. You know what I mean? You can't control playing defense, playing hard. So I try to preach, playing defense and just trying to keep my level of effort high every single day that I come in.
How is the Big 12? How have you adjusted to it? This would be the Iowa State's a team you haven't played yet, but you studied them. You went through the Big 10 for whatever 3 years. What have you learned about this league and how you have to play maybe differently than you did in the Big 10?
For one, there's no nights off. I think Eric said this a couple weeks ago or like last week. There's no nights off in this league. You're playing against a pro every time you step on the floor. So, you can't take plays off, you can't take possessions off, you can't take anything off, you can't take nothing for granted. Every play is hard-nosed, every possession matters. And I just feel like that's just the difference between this league and any other league. When I watch players, just take plays off, stand in the corner or not really guard anybody. But you can't do that here because everybody on the team is really good, on every team. So you can't take possessions off.
Iowa State leads the Big 12 in steals. They turn people over. How do you approach this team from what you've seen so far and how you study them?
Credit to them, they turn people over, but I just feel like we have smart enough guys to not put ourselves in those positions. Obviously, turnovers happen throughout the course of the game, but I just feel like if we don't put ourselves in bad positions, then we'll be fine.
Joe, kind of along those lines of scouting Iowa State, when you guys watch them, and obviously you don't just watch their home games. You watch their most recent game. Seems like they're a much different team when they're on the road as opposed to when they're on home. Do you guys see that? And, is there any kind of explanation on how a team can beat Kansas by 16 points at home, but then turn around and, lose to somebody on the road that they probably shouldn't have lost to?
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the points Coach DJ told us. It's just his scout. That was one of the points he told us. They're a completely different team on the road, and that's no knock on them. They're still a really good team, but they're obviously, there's just holes in their games when they get to the road. I feel like it's really hard to play in the Hilton. There's that crowd is ridiculous. Their fan base is ridiculous. So, they don't have that behind them when they're on the road. So I feel like that's why they struggle a little bit.
You played there, right? Hilton,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah, I played there. Man, that place is rowdy. That place is rowdy.
Defensive scoring average, lowest in the Big 12. How do you get your mind prepared for playing a defensive-oriented game? It's probably going to be at least they want it to be in the 60s.
It's just going to be who wants it more. That's all it is. Coach been telling us that since we got here. Who wants it more? Tomorrow, just whoever wants it more is going to win that game. And, I'm going to just preach to the guys, we want it more. We from here on out, we want every game more than everybody else.
Take you a while to adapt to this system from what, Iowa seemed like it was a different offensive system. Did it take you a little while to adapt?
Not really, because at Iowa we did go up and down a lot. We ran on makes and misses, but Coach told us to do that here too. Like if you got something, then take it. If you don't, then run a play. So it's kind of different, but not really. We just don't play as fast as I was at Iowa, but we still do play fast.
How different is your game here as it was compared to there? It just seems, in the points scored and stuff like that, you have to like just what you're doing here better than what you did there.
Yeah, definitely. They viewed me over there as a defender and a assist person, and I also view myself as that too. But I also knew I could score the ball. I live in a gym. My gym is my happy place. Morning, night, no matter what time, I'm always in the gym. So I knew I could score the ball. I could put the ball in the basket, and I just wanted to go to a program where I could show I could put the ball inside the basket.
And did you feel restrained there? Were there times when when you want to say, hey, I want to get mine too?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's just, I listen to the coach. I'm not one to do on things by myself. I don't talk back. I don't do none of that things. I just listen to my coach, and whatever he says goes. I mean, coach has been doing it for a long time, probably longer than I was born. So they know what's best.
Joe, how do you guys see the matchups in this game? They're, 4 guards for them mostly. 6'1", 6'4". Of course, then they got the 6'10" guy. But, he's kind of a skinny kind of thing. But, I mean, so it's kind of a different lineup than what you've seen against other Big 12 schools, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like we'll definitely be a problem for them with our big lineup because, I mean, I feel like everybody's just on the same page now with us. I feel like our team, we're ready to guard, no matter who it is. I feel like we can switch 1 through 4 and obviously just help, our bigs when they're on the guards. So I just feel like we're a matchup nightmare for them. I mean, they probably think they're a matchup nightmare for us because they have all guards, but I feel like with our bigs, we're matchup nightmares for them. So they'll have to guard us as well.
So a matter of you guys being physical and them being quick, I guess is kind of maybe what they're thinking and what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're probably thinking, they're going to outquick us. But, I mean, I feel like if we be physical with them, then we'll be fine.
You've already got the scouting report on them, right?
Correct.
What makes them so good defensively?
Effort. When I watched them by myself. I watched them with the team. I mean, the difference between that team and every other team in the Big 12, you could just tell they don't take any plays off. Literally, none. I mean, it's one time that ball Lipsy got the ball taken from him. The whole team just ran back and stopped them from scoring, and came down and scored. That's just the effort plays that they make, and that's the intensity we have to match tomorrow.
Joe, not a ton of minutes in either game against Iowa State that you played in Iowa, but have you seen any similarities from those games and then scouting them for this game tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely using my knowledge from there. One thing about them, they don't like pressure, and that's what Coach preaches to every team, about every team. Teams in this league don't really like pressure. So, I mean, I feel like we could really, pressure them tomorrow, trying to turn them over and things like that.
I've just used you and Keedy in the lineup together more and more as time goes. Do you like that? Is there some adjustment when you guys are on the floor together?
Yeah, I definitely like that. I mean, obviously because, me and Keedy do a really good job pressuring the ball and just helping, I mean, our guys, too, they also play defense, but I just feel like me and Keedy get the concept of helping, knowing when to help, knowing when to pressure the ball, things like that. I just feel like our mind are there on the defensive end of the court.
You played against 2 of the 5 starters, right? Hill and Gabe, I think. Those are 2 that you faced when you were at Iowa?
Yeah, and Kalsher.
Okay.
Kalsher, really good shooter. I played him also my freshman year when he was at Minnesota. He's a really good shooter. He can put it on the floor. He's a really good defender as well. Grill's a really good shooter. Hale, just active. I mean, I feel like they're all just really good shooters. They all make shots. They all play hard, and that's just the common theme around all of them. They all make shots and they play hard.
Thanks.
Joe, knowing you still have to go to Iowa State, you mentioned some of the road and home splits for them. Does that put a little bit more emphasis or so on tomorrow's game?
Oh yeah, 100. I mean, every game is important from here on out. But it definitely does put a lot of emphasis. I mean, we're in a good position right now, I feel. I mean, even with our record not showing it, but I feel like we're in a good position right now. We steal this one tomorrow. We're just helping ourselves. So I feel like tomorrow is really important for us, especially being that they're at the top of the league.
You were talking about kind of everyone's kind of getting on the same page now. I mean, obviously, whatever, it's been 24 games or whatever. We've seen games where Trey's gotten hot. We've seen games where you've gotten hot. Eric, Jimmy even. Have we seen anything where the whole team is playing well at the same time? And what would that look like if that does start to happen?
I mean, if we play all well, I mean, it's scary. It's scary because I feel like that happened at the beginning of the year. But I just feel like, defensively, that's where our mindset is. I mean, we're not, obviously we have to score the ball, but defensively is where we really need to pick it up. I mean, we let a lot of teams off the hook with our athleticism and, just not showing enough effort, And that's all I preach, We got to play defense. You got to play hard every single possession, every game if you want to win.
getting everyone on the same page defensively is a higher priority right now.
Yeah, because I feel like, when you get stops, it's easier to score. When you don't get stops, that's when you start to panic and, you start to, all right, I have to score this, I have to do this. But when we get stops, we all just play freely.
With James and Mo, they both played really well the other day. I guess as an older guy, watching those two younger guys really kind of blossom, what's that like, and what kind of differences have you seen from them since the summer and the beginning of the year up until this point now?
I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. I felt like I took it upon me. I used to get on them a lot. I used to scream at them, but I mean, you can't scream at every player. You can't. It's certain ways you have to talk to people. So I just go up to them when they make mistakes, like, it's all right. Just get the next one. You know what to do. And I just feel like that just went a long way, and that's what everybody too. I mean, as you guys know, Eric used to get on them a lot too, but he doesn't do it as much. He's telling them, like, it's all right, like, just next play. And I just felt like that really built their confidence up.
When did that happen? When did you guys realize that that's not the way they respond?
I realized that early in the season. Eric probably not too early, but I realized that real early. I also had to talk with Ruoff. He was just telling me, if I want to play basketball for a long time, just got to watch how you say things, watch how you talk to people and, how they respond to you, things like that.
Have you always been that vocal leader? Have you always had that?
I say yeah. It's just I always been on a team with older people, so like I didn't really have to talk much. I was just leading by example. But I feel like a lot of people listen to me on this team. And so I use my voice when I can.
It's almost a birthright in New York City, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a typical New York guy. New York people are really loud and stuff like that. Like I'm loud, but it's like I don't really. Yeah, I don't really do too much.
Anything else?